So let's talk about fears. We all have them. I have a lot more than I'd like to admit. Needles, the non-existent monster in our basement, dentists, spiders, literature analysis papers, messages from my English teacher telling me she was surprised by my literature analysis paper because I usually submit high quality work, but this time instead of giving her the quality she expected, I gave her a trash paper as the disappointment student I am. Liz, are you having any problems with literature in school or something? No, why would you think that? I hate literature. But yeah, we all have fears. And you can bet that if I have all these fears now, I had a lot more when I was little. And I thought it would be fun to share some of them with you, especially because some of them are really pathetic. So here's a list of 3 fears I had as a little kid. Yeah, let's do this, yeah. Fear number 1. Balloons. When I was younger, I hated balloons. Why? Because when a balloon would pop, it would murder my sensitive ears. Because of this, whenever someone near me had a balloon, I would freak out and get really nervous. I do have to admit that I still hate the sound of balloons popping because my ears are sensitive and stupid. Just a quick note, I'm not talking about those helium balloons that are practically impossible to pop. Those balloons are super fun to suck helium out of and destroy your lungs with. The balloons I'm talking about, or the ones I don't like, are the ones that can literally pop if you poke them too hard. So anyway, I just thought I should let you know what kind of balloon is an evil balloon. Okay, back to the story now. So yeah, because my ears are sensitive, I still do get a bit nervous when someone near me has a balloon. But trust me when I say I'm much better at handling that fear now. How did you used to handle your fear of balloons, Liz? Let me tell you a story to answer that question. I was about 6 at the time, and I was kinda at the age where I hadn't entirely figured out what embarrassment was. I'd been embarrassed before, but still, I did a lot of things that should have been embarrassing, but they weren't, because I was too stupid to realize that. So yeah, this is one of those incidents. During this incident, we were in lower elementary chapel, which was a time when the 1st through 3rd graders would sit quietly in a large room while listening to a speaker for an hour. For many of us, it was also a great time to fall asleep. On this specific day, the speaker just so happened to be my uncle. You see, my uncle is basically a walking bucket of positivity and sunshine, which meant that he was of course going to try and make his lesson a little more fun. So my uncle really likes doing magic tricks. One time when I was about 4, he magically pulled a quarter out of my ear. And for the next week, I tried finding money in my ears and I never found anything. It was mildly disappointing. You know, I should have stopped looking for money, but the desire to find money in my ears was irresistible. Yes, I know you all appreciate my pun. You love this, don't lie to yourself. Anyway, obviously my uncle was going to include a magic trick in his lesson, and usually I would be fine with that. I mean, hey, maybe he'd find all the quarters in my ears that I couldn't find for some unknown mysterious reason. However, on this day, my uncle decided to do a magic trick with something absolutely evil. A balloon. I guess we could say this idea popped into his mind, 'cause balloons pop. And I don't even know why did I say that? The second I saw him walk into the room with a ruler and a balloon, I knew something had to be done. I couldn't just sit there and let him get away with what I believed was going to be a terrible magic trick, which was going to result with the balloon popping. Something had to be done. So what did I do? I literally covered my ears and shamelessly repeated lines like, "Balloons aren't fun. I do not like balloons. Balloons are bad. There should be no balloons. Balloons aren't fun. I do not like balloons. They're not fun." The sad thing about this pathetic situation is this went on for a good 5 to 10 minutes. Besides my uncle trying to teach his lesson, it was perfectly silent in the room, except for me having my balloon protest. And for the longest time, the teachers did nothing to stop it. You know, Betty, Liz has kind of been talking about balloons for quite a while now. Should we, I don't know, do anything about that? No, the kid has to shut up eventually. Balloons aren't fun. You know what? I think I'm gonna go get her. So I spent the rest of chapel sitting outside the room with my teacher. Needless to say, I did not like balloons. They were not fun. Fear number 2, school picture day. From kindergarten to 3rd grade, school picture day was a complete nightmare. Not just for me, but also for my mom. Mom, if you're watching this, I'm sorry for what I put you through. You deserved better. I know what you might be thinking. Why in the world would I be scared of school picture day? Was I afraid my ugly face would break the camera? No, that wasn't the reason. Is it even possible to be ugly at age 5? I feel like you're too small and cute to be ugly, but I don't really know. Let me tell you the real reason I hated picture day. You know those big flashy lights that go off when you take the photo to give the pictures better lighting? Here's a picture of what I'm talking about just in case you're confused. Yeah. Those things scared the living daylights out of me as a child. The first time they tried to take my photo when I was in kindergarten, the moment the lights flashed, I ran away crying. I accurately remember thinking the things were going to kill me or eat me or something, which makes no sense, but I was 5. I hated how big they were. I hated how obnoxiously bright they were. I hated not knowing when the flash was gonna go off. It felt like hopelessly waiting to die. I had seen other kids get their pictures taken and none of them died in the process, but what if I was the light's target? What if the light only wanted me? I couldn't be sure that just because everyone else lived, I would live too. Because my mom worked as a secretary at our church/school, the picture people were like, hey, maybe if we get her mom, the child will calm down and realize we're not trying to kill her. So my mom came and attempted to calmly explain to me that everything was going to be fine and I was going to survive just like every other child did. And this became a talk we had on picture day for 4 years straight. And every year my mom grew slightly more frustrated. At first she was like, it's okay honey, the lights are only here to make the pictures look better. They'll only flash for a second and then it'll all be over. It'll be okay. And then later it was more like, child, I can't come out here every year and comfort you before you get your picture taken. You're like 8 years old. You need to learn to do this like everyone else does. The lights are not going to kill you, but I will if I have to keep coming out here every year. Yeah, she didn't say that last part. I guess you could say photo day didn't go as my mom pictured it would go. Fear number 3, toasters. If any of my siblings are watching this video, they know where this is going. When we were little, we were all introduced to this Disney movie called The Brave Little Toaster. Liz, you can't be serious. You're going to tell me a Disney movie called The Brave Little Toaster caused your fear of toasters? That sounds like a nice little kid movie. What could possibly be that bad about it? Listen. This movie was not like other Disney movies. I bet the people who made this movie probably had a conversation something like this. Hey Greg, maybe we should make a horror movie for kids. That's never been done before. And I bet kids would love it and definitely not be scarred for life after watching it. That's a genius idea. The only issue is, I don't know if a parent would want their 6-year-old to watch a horror movie. We're going to need to disguise the movie so that it looks innocent and not terrifying. Yeah. Maybe we should make the movie about a toaster who goes on a journey with all his other random object friends to find their owner who left home. And we'll call it The Brave Little Toaster. That title will definitely cover up all the unbearable terrors we put in the movie. I guess you could say kids are gonna be toast after watching this movie. Yeah, they are. Which is exactly why we shouldn't be making it, but you know, it's all good. Let's talk about what exactly happened in The Brave Little Toaster. I don't remember the whole thing, I just remember being disturbed by specific scenes in the movie. In the beginning of the movie, the toaster and his friends apparently got mad at the air conditioning unit for some reason I can't remember, so the toaster, in an attempt to insult the air conditioning, goes, well, you're stuck in a wall. I can't even say this with a straight face. And the air conditioning did not take this comment very well.
I'm not an invalid! I was designed to stick in a wall! I like being stuck in this stupid wall! I can't help it if the kid was too short to reach my dials!
We didn't mean it! Really!
It's my function!
Don't! Wait! Wait!
He's gonna blow!
Yank the
And let's not forget the scene where the toaster and his friends were chased by this clown, which was on fire. That part of the movie definitely wasn't cool, because there was fire, so it wasn't cool. But seriously, it wasn't cool. I hated it. I also remember hating this purple lamp. I honestly don't remember what the lamp did or why I hated it. I just remember strongly hating a lamp. And then, to top everything off, there was this one scene where the toaster and all of his friends were at a dump, and at the dump there were a ton of old cars. In this scene, the cars are literally being crushed and destroyed while singing about how worthless they are. My siblings and I just sat there and watched these sad, unstable cars face their brutal death. Like I said, I can't remember the whole movie. Those are just parts of it. I mainly just remember feeling very unsettled and lost throughout watching the whole thing. Fun fact, my dad actually looked at the movie reviews years after we watched it to see what other people thought about it, and multiple people said they were scarred by the movie as kids, and when they rewatched it when they were older to see if the movie was actually that bad, they were still scarred. So there you go, great movie. The worst part of this whole thing was that even though Ray, Dawn, and I were all terrified of The Brave Little Toaster, somehow our youngest brother Nathan loved it. So our mom would put it on for him pretty often, meaning we saw it and heard heard it on the TV pretty often. Thanks for that, Nathan. Thanks for letting us all relive our nightmares. After seeing this movie, I wasn't necessarily scared of toasters. I just kind of felt uneasy when I'd see one because it would remind me of angry air conditioning and singing dying cars. But I'm over that now. We have a toaster in our kitchen and I see it often and I don't care. So I've healed from the pain of watching The Brave Little Toaster. Anyway, those are just some of my childhood fears. I would tell more, but I'm afraid this video has to end because like fears and afraid and yeah. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If any of you have ever watched The Brave Little Toaster, tell me if you were scarred by it, or tell me if you were a hardcore child like my brother who didn't care. I mentioned this in a video recently, but I made a second channel for traditional art experimenting and stuff. If you're interested in checking that out, the channel is called The Space Taco. I might leave like a pinned comment with a link to the channel or video because I'm just, you know, getting that started. Have a fabulous day, eat more tacos, bye.